What's up guys, welcome back. Today we're taking a trip down memory lane. Growing up we didn't have a whole lot of money and this is a meal that I used to eat religiously. My uncle had a garden and he used to bring lima beans to the house and we used to eat this butter bean recipe all the time growing up. So today I'm going to show you how to make it, but before we get into that, please take a quick second to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that bell to enable notifications as well. All right guys, meet me in the kitchen. Let's make it happen. First things first, let's take a look at these ingredients. The star of the show, my friends, are the lima beans, or in this case, butter beans. You can call them whatever you want. We also have some smoked turkey. For the pork patrol, we're using turkey today, but you can also use smoked pork, ham hocks, anything like that. We've got onions. Can't have butter beans without the butter. A little garlic, some better than bouillon chicken base, some seasoning, the worst word in the world sauce, and a little hot sauce. As you can see guys, not a lot of ingredients in this recipe, mostly inexpensive ingredients as well. Pair this up with a little cornbread or garlic bread, and for me that was a whole meal. We would eat this all the time, probably a little more often than I wanted to, but hey, now that I'm older, I kind of miss it. So here we are today. Weather's starting to get a little cool and I need a pot of butter beans. So we're just gonna give a real rough chop to the onions. These onions are gonna cook down as the beans are braising. All right, so here we have 2 pounds of smoked turkey. Again, you can use pork, whatever you got. You wanna use a smoked meat for this though. It's gonna add a lot of flavor. Once that's in there, we're gonna cover that with about 4 to 6 cups of chicken broth. You can use low sodium because we are going to add quite a bit of seasoning to this along with the better than bouillon. But you want a good 4 to 6 cups in there, and we're just going to simmer this until the meat falls off the bone. All right guys, if we're making my classic meal from home, we got to do it the right way. We always use the jiffy. We're going to doctor it up a little bit. 2 boxes of jiffy cornbread going in. Then we're going to use 2/3 cup of milk or half and half. 2 to 3 tablespoons of melted butter, because why the hell not? 2 eggs, a pinch of salt, and a nice tablespoon or 2 of sugar, depending on how sweet you want this to be. We're also going to add a little honey butter at the end. Then we're going to spray our casserole dish and get this in a 400-degree oven until it's golden brown and beautiful and fully cooked, which typically takes about 15, maybe 20 minutes. You can do this in a cast iron skillet if you want, a little skillet cornbread with the crispy edges. That's how we used to have it. We're going to use the casserole dish today though. There we go. Smooth it out like a rocky relationship. Then into that 400-degree oven for 15 to 20 minutes. All right guys, what you see right there in that pot is what I like to call liquid gold. We need a little bit more liquid in there though, so I'm gonna add some no sodium chicken stock. This is what we're gonna use to cook our beans. And then to amplify the flavor, I'm going to use some low sodium, better than bouillon chicken base. A good tablespoon of that. Now we're going to add in our chopped onion. That's going to cook down and add flavor to the party as well. We're going to add a few dashes of worst word in the world sauce and some hot sauce. And then we're going to get our beans in there, let them start getting tender. All right, for the health police, close your eyes. It's called butter beans, so we're going in with a whole stick of butter. And then we're going in with our lima beans. These are still partially frozen, but we're gonna cook them until they're nice and tender, seasoned to taste. Shred the meat off the bone and add that back to the party. Thicken it up with a little flour, and you're gonna have yourselves a fantastic meal that I enjoyed most of my childhood. All right guys, right now the beans are simmering away, getting nice and tender. We've already shredded the meat off the bone, removing all bone, skin, and cartilage. Get that smoked turkey meat on in there. Oh man, this brings back memories right here. Go ahead and mix that in. You can add a little bit more broth if you need to, if it starts to evaporate too rapidly for you. We're gonna go ahead and season it up a little bit more. A little more hot sauce, a little AP. You can hit it with some chicken bouillon powder if you want to, but we got the base in there and chicken broth, so we should be good there. But if you're using water at home, you can go ahead and hit it with some chicken bouillon powder. So at this point, we're gonna let this simmer on low until the beans get tender. You're gonna season it to taste. We're gonna add a little splash of heavy cream along with a little flour to thicken it up almost into like a gravy-like consistency. That's how we ate it growing up. We'll be ready to dive in a minute. All right, guys, the beans are nice and tender. I've tasted for seasoning. They're tasting amazing, just like childhood. Speaking of childhood, my father always added a splash of heavy cream, or maybe it was milk, I'm not sure. And then a little bit of flour to thicken things up. I honestly don't have a great reason why he did that, but I do know that it makes it delicious. So some of the recipes that are passed down are done that way for a reason. I'm not here to question it. It's damn good. So that's what we're going to do today. I know the flour kind of thickens it up a little bit, almost like a gravy-like consistency. And that's what we're going for here. So about a tablespoon or so of flour. I can smell that cornbread in the oven. And that lets me know it's almost time to eat. Almost like a butter bean stew. That's it right there. Cornbread fresh out of the oven. We got us some melted butter. Got some honey. Give that a good little mix. You got yourself some honey butter cornbread, guys. This is not nice and simple, not rocket science. Sometimes the best dishes we grew up on are the most simple ones. So we're just gonna pour that right over the top, the way the good Lord intended. Let that settle for a second. Slice us up a piece. And we got ourselves a meal. And this is the part where I say, brace yourself for a trademark money shot. Say it with me, guys. Looking good. The only thing left to do is dig in here for the taste test. But before we do that, please take a quick second to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that bell to enable notifications as well. All right, guys, moment of truth. Taking a trip down memory lane. Not that far down memory lane because I used to make this all the time. It's been a while though. I'm looking forward to this. Can't forget the cornbread.